Welcome back to my channel, everyone. In today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't cook your books. So if you don't know what I mean the less you claim as your net profit for your business, the less taxes you'll pay. Obviously, there's specific rules to the category or the type of business that you have where certain taxes have a set minimum. Like if you're an S corporation, you have to pay a minimum of $800 per year, even if you have accrued no transaction or no net profit from your business. So I'm expecting that you have a general understanding of how gross revenue works, minus business expenses, and what the net profit should be and how you get taxed on those net profit. So from that, I want to move on to why you shouldn't cook your books. And that's because if ever something happens to you, or if ever any incident occurs where you're no longer able to run the business and you need to sue the people that are responsible for whatever the incident was that occurred to you, and you need to show them the documents to say if that defendant were to act correctly, I wouldn't have gotten into this incident, and so I would be able to earn this much money from my business. And so you need to show records to show that even if your business just started a month ago or it's been in operations for 10 years, you need to show the documents to support the notion, the assumption that you would have continued to earn money from that business. And so when people cook their financial statements to show that they're not accruing any net profit, where they would not have to pay too many taxes on it because you're showing that your business is worth zero, if you ever come into a situation where you're going to sue a defendant for putting you in this incident, you're going to show that your business is worth nothing, where even if this incident had not occurred, you would still make nothing. So you cannot claim economic damages for that business. Hello there, Judy. So who calculates how much your business would have profited and would have earned had you not been in that incident? And how long would that person, based on the documents, expect you to work? And how much would that amount of money be in today's dollars? A business owner is, let's say, 30 years old, and most people work until they're about 67 and retire. So how much money would that person have earned from their business until they're age 67? And how much would that amount of money be worth today? So that is where a forensic economist comes into play, which is what I used to do before I quit my job and started my own business. So what a forensic economist does, they will be retained by the attorneys on either side, the plaintiff or the defendant, and they will receive all the documents pertaining to earnings from the attorney, and they will review everything, do a bunch of data entry to have everything into their system, whether that be Excel or some other kind of software, and they'll analyze the data and calculate how much would this person have earned from their business or from their job had they not been involved in this incident where it is causing them to no longer be able to work, or had caused them to pass away, or whatever the incident is. They are there to calculate how much that money would be and convert that to today's value of money. If you have cooked those books and it doesn't show the amount that you have been earning in reality, then it would show nothing to the economist, therein causing the economist to come up with solution, especially if they're retained by the defendant, to come up with conclusion that this business was worth nothing. This plaintiff that's suing would not have continued to work this business, or would not have continued to earn this amount of money or earn any amount of money until they're expected to retire. So it all depends on how much documents there are and what could be analyzed and used as evidence to support that this person would have continued to work till age 67. Or if it was a public servant serving, there's a way for economists to do research online to figure out how many increases in their pay rate they would receive every year, and how much they would receive from their pension till their life expectancy. They're able to calculate all of that. But the point of this video, there are individuals that have these titles, that hold these positions, forensic economists, or they just go by economists. Most of the ones that just have PhD and the attorneys are retaining them to testify in court for them, they are typically just called economists, and they will be either on your side or against you to testify that your business is worth nothing if you cook your books to show that you are accruing absolutely zero to no income, no net profit, so that you wouldn't have to pay taxes on your profits. So be truthful, because you never know what's going to happen. If ever something happens to you, like you pass away, something happens, it's somebody's fault. You trip on the sidewalk and you hit yourself on the curb. The sidewalk should have been maintained, but it wasn't. And so your wife or your husband is now left with no income because you are the breadwinner, and they need to sue to alleviate this horrible situation where there's absolutely no income coming in anymore. And so they will look at the business's financial statements to see how much you were earning, what kind of expenses are sporadic or consistent or odd. But the forensic economists will do a bunch of research on that industry of your business, how your business was doing, depending on how many financial statements are available, compare them with other businesses, do all kinds of other relevant research, and come up with a solution that is sound, so that they can explain to their jurors that this individual, the plaintiff in question, would have or would not have earned this much throughout their lifetime, but for the incident. So I hope that makes sense. If anybody has any questions about this occupation that's just floating around in the air that you don't really think about, the people that calculate the economic damages for civil suits, please leave your questions in the comments below. It's not something people think about, but that was something that I was doing. It was very interesting to get a bunch of different cases and do a bunch of research on different individuals. But I have come into situations working for my previous job where we would be retained by the plaintiffs saying, hey, I should not be blamed for this incident. I was just running my business and this happened to me, this happened to my business location, and now I need to show that because the defendant was negligent, I lost all this money. So how do I prove that? You should have been doing your books correctly, honestly. Because if you show that you've been losing money this whole time, that you are operating at no profit, operating at a loss, just so you can avoid paying more taxes than you have to, then the economist has no choice. They will just have to say, well, the business was worth nothing. And you are just stuck with hoping to get something from emotional distress. Anyway, so that completes today's video. Hope you enjoyed. I know it's a little bit different from everything else, but I just kind of wanted to explain it because when I first got the job, I didn't exactly know how I would be using my economics degree into this specific position in that specific industry. It's a very small industry that everyone needs to be aware of, because this is the justice system that we're talking about. We need to rely on the system to make sure that you get what you deserve, but it really starts with you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe and